right, that's the trailer for The Little Things. That's what she said, right, Casey?
Never heard that. No.
Never heard that one.
Never in my life. I heard
Hey. All right, so Denzel Washington's back. He's playing Decky Deacon. It's a weird name. Or Joe Deacon. This is a story written and directed by John Lee Hancock. That's such a generic name right there.
That sounds like a lie name. Like, officer pulls you over while you're walking. Do you have your license? No, I don't. I'm walking. What's your name? John Lee Hancock.
John Lee Hancock.
Straight lie. Can I go?
Let me see if I can pull up a synopsis of this movie because I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
He did The Blind Side. Okay, I never heard of him before.
So a burnt out Kern County CA deputy sheriff teams up with Baxter, played by Rami Malek, crack LSD detective LSD to nab a serial killer. Dex knows for the little things proves eerie accurate, but his willingness. Okay, they're doing too much. Anyway,
you want me to read this one?
He's assisting this guy in the finding a serial killer in the local town.
Yeah, Denzel Washington used to be the hotshot cop there, and something happened in the past to where he is somewhere else now. There's a new hotshot cop who meets Denzel, and maybe he wants to work with him. This thing is getting over his head, so they kind of team up, kind of not, to figure out who the serial killer is. Man.
Denzel looking like a Big Juicy in this movie, man.
There was a bit of the movie where he had a Big Juicy going.
I was like, is that the fat suit they got my man in? It looked like a fat suit because some scenes he looked slim and normal, and the other scenes whenever he's wearing like the deputy uniform, I was like, man, they got him looking greasy in this scene. I was like, why are they doing Denzel like that?
Yeah, you can't talk about Denzel like that, bro. That's literally against the law.
Yeah, Jared Leto, you could say that because Jared Leto did.
I mean, I'll let y'all go before I say anything because I don't want to. We're still on the spoiler-free part, right?
Yeah.
So one thing I'll say before we start jumping into like the story, I feel like Rami Malek was miscast, man. I don't see Hotshot anything with his bug eyes. Like when he shows up, I'm just like, come on, man.
I disagree, man. I think they did a great job.
Like I was just like, who you going to like? You ain't no Hotshot, nothing, man. Come on, man.
I thought they did a good job of showing the new young cop.
Yeah,
that's new doing that job. That doesn't want to admit that he's over his head, but their facial expressions in this says more than what they're saying to each other. In my opinion, they did. I think the cast
could have played that role, Casey. I didn't get no type of energy.
Nah. This guy did a much better job, especially when we get to the things that happen.
Man, Rami just gave me the eyes. He gave me them bug eyes. I thought at some point I was like, maybe he's the creepy person in the movie.
That's a part of it. Yeah,
he looked creepy.
Because that's why he's so good for this. Because it's a kind of like a whodunit thriller, crime thriller. So
I like
sitting there.
I like Jared Leto, or however you say his name.
Leto.
Yeah.
I think he did a great job in this movie.
Yes.
He was awesome.
I almost gave it away, but I too would have tried to put him as the bad guy. So
I didn't like Jared Leto on like completely. There were some parts I liked him where he was killing it. There's some parts where I was like, man, this guy looks so goofy running across the street in this same mechanic clothes he's been wearing for a week. Like, come on, man. At least rock a ponytail or something at the bar. Like, this guy's wearing the same clothes.
I feel like it's just him making up for the Joker. Like, he's like, yo, all that lost footage y'all said y'all ain't trying to watch, I'm going to give you it right here in this film.
Yeah, because he looked goofy at times to me until he was in his bag and he wasn't goofy no more. It was like, oh, okay. Oh, man, he's making me feel uncomfortable. Doing his job. He just seems
like a meth head to me. A meth head that's just, he got a lot of time on his hands and he watches a lot of unsolved mystery. I
went into this movie expecting more of a Seven or a LA Confidential, but your expectations, I think, as a viewer, should be more for Your Honor, like that type of show. Like it could have been a HBO show, like a 4 series type of thing, and I think people would have gravitated to it better. But they had the star-studded cast, and the tempo maybe been a bit slow in some parts, but I think that slow tempo part was so necessary to pull off the trick, the pull the rabbit out the hat part of the movies. So
I disagree, Casey. I feel
No,
like
that's
you
fine.
can skip the first 1 hour of the film, jump in where they introduce Jared Leto, and you'll understand everything going on by skipping that first hour, because they
I
still
think it's
have
necessary.
flashbacks that fill you in on details that you could have missed that first hour. Like they flesh out. I feel like they fully
don't think
flesh
so.
out Denzel's character the last hour of the film.
I really think I would agree that too. I know. I feel like I know why they went slow. That, you know what I'm saying? Because to be honest, I mean, the movie and the script is made to be a slow burn, but God knows, bro, it was that a slow burn. Like it was, boy, my God. I mean, look, I'm gonna watch anything that's got Denzel in it, and I was excited to see this joint, and especially once I saw the cast, I was like, this is gonna be a banger. And yeah, all of the slow grind that you could get out of something, they got all that. I mean, that was crazy.
Oh man, I'm looking for a movie. You said you'd watch any Denzel movie. I'm looking for a movie right now. It has one where he had that afro and the glasses. You check that one out?
Roman.
I don't know. I'm looking for it on Netflix.
Roman,
Yeah, I
saved
watched
that.
that nonsense.
You watched it?
Yeah,
I watched
it's
that
Roman
nonsense.
something Esquire or something like that. I
That
watched
looks
it
like
after a while.
I don't know, man. I put it on my list. I don't know if I could do that one. I don't know. I
watched that
love
one. I was like,
Denzel.
really, Denzel? I was like,
Hey,
I don't know if I
that was
could
a
do
mortgage
Hold up.
payment. That's what that was.
If you watch the little things, you can watch the other one. Bro.
Okay. It's on my list. So I'm gonna check it out.
Hey, look, if you watch the little things, you can watch Roman J. Esquire. I think that was that one.
So let's
Man,
talk
don't
about
do
Denzel
it.
for a little bit. He's really getting in his bag of like the mental breakdown of a person, like his facial expressions when he's like going like this and all this type of stuff. He was on another level of acting. You know what I mean? Like he was doing something else.
I think that's one of the reasons I was excited about it, because Denzel's such a legend already that if Denzel decides to take on a project, he had to have seen the script and really believed in it, because he doesn't need any role. He doesn't need anything.
Exactly.
If he never acted again, he's still solidified as an all-time GOAT. Like seriously. So for that was one of the reasons I was excited to see it, because we haven't seen Denzel in anything in what was the last thing he was in? I think it was the movie that we were just talking about.
I think so.
Yeah. So I mean, that's why I was excited about it. And I mean, I think on an acting level, everybody did well. The top three, you know what I'm saying, that was supposed to carry the movie, everybody did well. This is for everybody that has not watched it yet, since this is a spoiler-free part of the review. It is a slow burn. Do you hear me?
I honestly, I agree.
It's
It's
like when you first light the sage, and you didn't light it with no lighter. Like you like blew some flint or something, and you let that joint just, it caught on the grass, and it rolled on the grass, and it went over the dew, and then it finally caught it just a little bit, and then it burned out, and then you had to relight it. Like it was that type of slow burn.
I honestly think a lot of these movies are being affected because we're not in the magic of the movie theater, where we're locked into a big screen with our popcorn, engaged fully with our full attention at it. We are sitting at home with our cell phones, with our lights, kids, cousins, family members calling this and that. Go grab this. Can you pick this up for me? Pause buttons. So I think that plays a big part in this. It's like Zodiac Killer, kind of like it's that kind of tempo. Like it's super slow procedure.
Yeah, Zodiac.
Little things happening, and it reminds me of that movie. Honestly, like it has
One
that.
thing I want to interject on. One thing I give a 10 out of 10 in this movie is the music, because when stuff got tense, whoever's playing that piano, they were getting down. I was like, yo, whoever's playing the piano, they getting into it, man. Like whoever that piano player is, like,
yeah,
you did your thing. You got 10 out of 10 with your piano playing.
That's definitely one of the most underrated things in storytelling in movies is music and tempo and things like that. People, it's the stuff that you don't pay attention to, that when you look back over the movie as like what creeps you out and like what made you love something and stuff like that. Like you look back, a lot of times it's the score.
Yeah,
it's the music that they played, or the lack of one in specific places. Like certain scenes or certain things happening, and it's strictly silence instead of there being any music. I think one of my favorites for pulling that off was probably I know The Strangers. Some of the scenes that The Strangers executed with no sound was absolutely phenomenal.
Dark Knight, right? Dark Knight, the second Batman movie by Nolan.
Oh yeah,
has
Dark
a scene
Knight.
where the Joker's chasing him with the truck, hitting everything, and it's quiet. There's nothing happening, no music until the motorcycle hits the building and comes down, rolls up on them. They build their attention, and then they get to the music. It was like, oh shit.
Dark Knight is a masterpiece. Period, though. Like
absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean,
scores are
Paranormal
important.
Activity is another one. Like there's a good amount of movies that the score or lack of one in spaces is a really big deal.
Yep.
So let's give our ratings real quick because I'm like itching to get to the spoilers. So for me, I'm giving this movie a 6 out of 10. I feel like the cast was great. The story had pacing issues, and the overall outcome of the film is just one of those like, it's an ambiguous ending. So it's whatever you want to take out of it is what you're going to get. So it gets a 6 for me.
How you feel, Morgan?
I can't give Denzel a 5 out of 10 on almost anything. So
You can.
I mean, I could go with a 6 because I will say I did not like overly enjoy. I did not meet the expectations that I had for it with that cast, and I don't know if it was. I don't think it was the acting as much as it was the pacing and the writing. I'm not saying it's not a good movie at all, but it's definitely not. It's not in my top. It's definitely not my top 5 Denzel movies. It's probably not in my top 10 to be honest with you. Yeah, so I can do a 6. That's I can't. I'm not about to disrespect Denzel to give it like a 4 or nothing. I ain't about to do that.
I would definitely say check this out if it's on HBO Max. I would say rent it. I wouldn't say purchase it.
Doggone right.
I give it a solid 7.5.
What?
I see the homages that this has to older movies of this caliber, and I saw the little things that they did, including the score. And another thing that they did that I'll get into in spoilers. I like the slow burn because I like Your Honor and those types of shows. But
Your Honor
I was
is
expecting
way better than this, Casey.
I was expecting that's more modern. This is more old school. What time was this movie even made in? If you see all the cars,
It was the 90s. I want to say it was the 90s.
not one cell phone was seen in this movie. But
yeah, I'm almost certain it was the 90s. I'm trying to remember if there was like a news clipping or something, or if it was just a time period. Like, I think it was the 90s. I'm almost certain it was.
But yeah, the pacing definitely did hurt this movie. But yeah,
I know it did.
I was gonna say something else, but now I forgot. I got cut off. But no, the movie was I would rent it. I would definitely do what I did and just rent the movie or stream it if you can. You know what I mean? With HBO.
Or you could let somebody else rent it for you. Because
Yeah, that's true.
don't you don't want to do that.
The ski mask way, baby. That's what we call it. That's what we call it over here. It's ski mask.
I'm just saying, man, that joint. Yeah, don't buy
It's
it.
definitely don't buy it. It's definitely worth a check out if you want to watch something. But I was going in. That's what I was gonna say. I was going into this movie off the trailers, expecting that a film. You know what I mean? Like a real film with the action scenes and not a slow burn procedural cop thing with I was expecting a whodunit and let's get into spoilers with that.
Yeah, we're doing
Danny,
spoilers.
can Danny
Danny's
talk
back
or
with
what's
us. We're doing spoilers. Danny, want to say something real quick?
Yeah, his mic's up. There we go.
Yeah.
We're just giving our final ratings on the movie. How you feel?
I know y'all didn't like it, but I enjoyed it. I ain't got nothing else to do right now. I'm sitting at the house.
That can't qualify for your review.
I got that going on right now. So 10 out of 10.
But just to
I'm
be
not doing nothing else, so I guess it's an 11.
No, but I felt like that they, it drew out a little bit, yes, but because of the time we spent looking at, Denzel's past and how I felt like it was like a passing of the torch thing. You know what I'm saying? Like Denzel has been the GOAT forever, and now they got this new the same as in the movie is in real life. They got this new young actor who's killing all the roles, and he's kind of passing the torch.
Should have been Michael B. Should have been Michael B.
Should have been Denzel's son.
I did.
John, ready for that?
You're not passing no torch, son.
How many movies Denzel got to do where he's passing the torch? Ever since Girl on Fire or Man on Fire, he's been passing the torch.
Yeah, no,
he got to pass the torch. He got to.
No, sir. No, he does not. That is Denzel Washington. Ain't no passing no torch. Yeah. That's like telling Whitney Houston to pass the torch. Yeah, no, ain't no passing the torch.
The blunt.
She'll pass the coke. She ain't passing no torch.
Yeah, I won't go there. But you know, as a matter of fact, I'm nicknaming my gun Whitney. So just so y'all know,
because it sings loudly, doesn't it?
Let the thing sing. But anyway,
hit them notes.
So let's talk about the We're gonna go into spoilers now. Let's talk about the ending. What I got out of the ending was they messed up and they killed the wrong person, and he sent that red beret to that guy to just like to ease his mind, so he could be like, all right, we got the right guy. While Denzel's like, nah, we done effed up, but I'm gonna take care of everything. I'm gonna burn everything. I done used all my vacation hours.
My thing was
that's what got me mad. I was like, you use your vacation hours on this? That's what got me.
He was desperate to figure out the case that he couldn't do because he had a breakdown and shot the girl by accident. So he saw that there's clues to his case that were similar to this one of the guy he never caught. So he was like, oh shit, this might be the time I get my case. So he was like, fuck all this shit. I'm doing whatever I got to do. I will stay in this town and figure out my case. And they wanted to get the hell out of there because he already shot somebody by accident. Yep. And my thing with this story was they were like, the writer was probably like, yo, like what's happening in our time right now is crazy, but imagine what these cops are doing every day by accident, like just messing up and doing this type of stuff. Like imagine how many times you're at work and you accidentally send the wrong email to somebody, or you don't send the email. You know, these guys are running around with guns or even worse. You know what I mean? So imagine their days when they make a mistake. So that's what I think was the penetrating thing in this story, linear in the story, to tell us what's going on.
Well, my thing is like nothing got done then because the serial killer's still out there.
That's not what the movie was about. That's why people I think were disappointing.
Yeah, the movie's about, you gotta do what you gotta do so you can sleep better at night. That's what I got out of it.
Nah.
Look, this is why I liked it. Okay, I think all right. So the movie is called The Little Things, right?
Exactly.
But the little things make big things, right? So you can break a case by finding this little minute detail, but you can also destroy your entire life by making this little mistake. Yeah. He messed up in the moment, shot the wrong person. And Rami's character, he let his emotions get the best of him in that little moment and hit that dude and then cracked the dude in the head. Now, that could have affected his entire life going forward. So you see the symmetry you see the parallels between the two characters. Denzel was saying, don't do the same thing that I did. Don't let this one thing mess your entire life up. Don't let this one little mistake that you made.
Little things.
It's the little things. Don't just let this little thing.
And Denzel kept saying little things to him like, hey, don't you got to dinner with your family, man? Enjoy your family. He's like, nah, got to crack this case. And Denzel's like, yeah, man, I'm addicted to this shit too, bro. Let's get it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
I think because I'm big on messaging, especially, what I'm saying, with scripts and movies, I can give it that credit for the overall message of what the movie was supposed to be about. But I still think execution definitely is a big part of it. You know what I'm saying? So like for me on the execution, it fell through because I think the pacing was like egregious. You know what I'm saying? In the movie, like I can't remember being that bothered by the pacing of a movie in a while. Like only because it wasn't. I understand if like you're trying to give depth to the character or this or that or whatever, but I don't feel like if that's what their goal was in the first hour, it was.
Well,
not.
Imagine how you would feel if you were the detective who was so close to cracking that case. All you needed was one thing, and then you got him. We're in that position watching this movie. It's a thriller. It's a drama thriller. They basically put us in the position mentally as them because we want to see him get this guy. We want to see it. And he's so close, and they make us wait through it, and go through the agony that these detectives have to go through. And then he's so close, but then he just messed up. You know what I mean?
They did an amazing job of making me go through agony. I'll tell you that.
Didn't you see him punching the car? Didn't you see him punching the inside of the car?
I punched the inside of my house.
Did you feel like doing that?
I did. I punched the inside of the wall of the house.
I'm saying.
Sorry, let me jump in here. So the main thing is attention and detail, and the callback to that is the red hair clip that he sends to them. That was the attention.
One of the little things
that they're looking for. I understand the whole messaging of the little thing, but at the end of the day, we don't know if they got the right person. But Denzel implanted that in his head that he has the right person, and Denzel went and basically cleaned out the guy's apartment and everything. So what happens a week or two later if the killer's still out there and they kill again? They're gonna all be under investigation.
No, the FBI agent was
nobody
there.
else.
The third new hotshot detective who was talking to the news with a freshly cut, shaved face, saying the exact same things that the actor guy, I can't remember his name,
Rami Malek was saying.
That was saying, at the end, he was giving that same speech, the same spiel, saying we're gonna catch this guy. We got information that they described Jared Leto's character exactly. It's always some weirdo guy like that. You know what I mean? So they were like, it's like the ongoing cycle of these cops having to solve a case, do another case, solve a case, do another case, and then it just cracks them. That's what they're trying to say in this.
I mean, it was outside by the pool looking stressed like Drake.
It cracked him.
Yeah.
It really did do. I mean, you really don't know whether it was Jared Leto's character or not. You really have no idea. I'm leaning.
You're not supposed to.
Him.
You're supposed to feel like the cop.
I'm leaning towards it wasn't him, but I still think, like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? You want to leave it open-ended. I think they did a good job of showing you, like the way that Danny broke it down earlier. And you know what I'm saying? It's a little, because it's definitely, on Denzel's side, you definitely see what he's trying. One, that he's been driven by his effort. It hasn't messed with his detective skills, but it's messed with the rest of his life. You saw all the things that he lost. I think one of the big scenes. I think one of the big scenes was when he went to his ex's house, and she said, you know, he asked how the girls were doing, and they were like, they were good. They're good. You know what I'm saying? You should call them. You know what I'm saying? Which he kind of like, and he internalized. He was like, yeah, you're right. And for somebody with a brain and a mind like his, that wasn't computing to him. You know what I'm saying? That you're gonna ask about it. So it's one of the two. Either you don't actually care how they're doing, or it's something like similar to Rocky and Creed, you know what I'm saying, where it's gone on so long that you don't feel like you can salvage it now. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know which one it is for him, but I think that scene shows you a lot of what it is that he lost, that he didn't want to see this kid lose, even though he was somewhat reluctant in the beginning to kind of lend his past experience and expertise. And Rami was kind of, you know what I mean, reluctant to allow him to in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? He gave him some space, and then the relationship grew over time. I think the relationship growing over time was cool. I wish it had been more based off of like action than it was like just a gradual I'm trying to think of the way to.
I got to give a shout out to Budweiser, because that was a Budweiser commercial that they fit in there. Those things never get by me, man. When they had the Bud Lights and then they had the little Budweiser symbol in the back mirror, and that's when they came together as a crew, as friends. They were like, yeah, man, you want to drink? Yeah, I'll get a cold. Give me another Bud Light. They had a little commercial there. Go watch it again. They're not slick. They're like, Clint did. They're like, oh yeah, detected this. Yeah. No, it could have been the crime. And they really had that bond. You know, it's like,
I 1,000,000% missed that.
No,
but we gotta talk about. Well, let me just say this before I forget. Denzel's characters that he's been doing, his last best one, in my opinion, was Flight, when he played the addiction with alcohol.
Yeah, he was awesome.
This was very reminiscent of that character, because he seemed like he was addicted to cracking this case. Like when he was in the shaggy, crappy hotel, he went to the thrift store to get his crappy clothes, the baggy clothes. He just looked like all he wanted was that next hit. Like he was just in the hotel rubbing his mouth like he was on something, you know what I mean? Like just drinking in the dark, looking at the pictures on the wall, just getting high off of this thought. Like, so in my opinion, this was more of an addiction story used through the narrative of the police detectives and the whodunit.
Yo, so I gotta get out of here, but I do want to say two things about the movie. The pace in the beginning, I think, was, to me, it was the intensity of the situation. So there's this guy.
Background noise. I'm not sure who it's coming from.
Oh, can you hear? Is it me?
It might be.
Let me turn my speakers down. But they got the I think it was the intensity of the situation that they were having. So they got this killer out here who was killing women, and you know, meets the situation. It's, mirrors the situation that happened years ago. And every little detail is pointing to this guy. And for me, at the point when he was out there and they were switching sides on the highway, right?
Yeah.
And then he called in and he was like, where was the first body found? And she was like, it was at mile marker 246 or something. He looks up and it's right there. I was like, bam. It's him. Like, to me,
they got you, right? You're like, you're the detectives. You're like, they just need that one little thing. They use the fingerprints. They're like, yo, it matches. There's just one off fingerprint.
Yeah.
Can you just say it's him? The guy's like, nah, I can't do it. It's like, come on, give us this.
So all of that was made to build that tension of, yo, we right here, but we can't quite put this guy away. And you felt just like with when you were talking about, it was kind of like Seven. It built until that emotion just spilled over, and that's what the bad guy wanted. He wanted that emotion to spill over, and he killed them. And because of that, us as the audience, we don't get the release of actually knowing if it was that guy or not. So it leaves you
That's
uneasy.
What bothers people, because people just want that one last hit. They're just like, I just did that. Come on, but the movie didn't do it. So
it's as a movie. When he got the red beret in the mailbox, as a movie, we would have been fine with that. We would have been okay. We would have had closure, if that was the end of the movie. But then for them to show, him at the end with the package and throwing that in the trash too, like, oh man, I thought we had it, but it was snatched away. So that's why I like stuff like that.
I was thinking, like, as a detective, he'd be looking at the beret and be like, that beret's a little too clean to be like, just, she was jogging and dropped it, didn't have a speck of dust or a scratch, nothing. It was a brand new beret. But whatever, I digress.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again, because as it stands right now, it was just agony for me. So I'm
so you see how Denzel felt being in the movie acting, right?
All right, you guys want to wrap this up then, since Danny has to go? And
yeah, man,
out of here.
All right, it was a pleasure having you guys on the podcast. Yes. Let people know where they can reach you. I'll let Danny go first.
Me, I'm at the Ace Blade on all the social medias. THE Ace Blade, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. That's where I'm at.
I am the Lumberjacks on Twitter, Instagram. The only difference is, instead of the E in the lumber part, instead of an E, it's a 3 for Twitter and Instagram. And then I'm working Iverson on Facebook. Most of the time I'm on Facebook. I do have a TikTok. I'm never on TikTok, so I don't ever I have no idea what my name is on TikTok. I don't even remember anymore. Or you can get the comics. We have all of our comics right now on shortfusemediagroup.com, www.shortfusemediagroup.com. And then we also have the Super Shorts podcast everywhere but SoundCloud, I believe.
Oh,
and your link is in your bio too for your Instagram. If you want to search their comic book and purchase it, the link is in the bio. So check that out. It's well worth it.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it, man.
Of course.
All right, Dan, you said you looking like you wanted to say one more thing. You good?
No, I was gonna say, look out for stuff we got coming up. We got a King Supreme comic coming out soon. Me and Morgan are working on that 4th season that we're calling Reparations. I haven't told anybody that, so that's breaking news here.
Yeah, I about to say I won't gonna spoil it, but you know what I'm saying. I might as well put it out there now.
If they listen this long, they deserve it. They deserve it.
I agree.
And then we got another couple of projects that are separate from Ace Blade and Lumberjacks that are coming out soon. So look out for that.
Go ahead and tell them the name.
The Ballad of the Black Rose. That's the newest one that we're working on. It's kind of it's a supernatural Western. So we'll see. Y'all will see.
Vampires.
And there may or may not be an appearance of the Buffalo Soldiers, you know what I'm saying, and some other dope things.
Look at you taking what I told you. Look at you, Morgan.
hey, listen, you know what I'm saying? I'm just, I was going to reveal the Lumberjacks 2 cover, but I can't do that right now. I'm gonna hold on to it.
All right. I think this concludes this episode of the Bacchanal Podcast. Again, You can reach us at _Bacchanal. That's on Instagram. That is on Twitter. You can email us at the bacchanalsquad@gmail.com. And of course, on Facebook, we are the Bacchanal Podcast fan page. Dope conversations. Please don't leave mad. We're friendly. Don't leave mad. Just have a conversation. We're all
if y'all are not in the Bacchanal fan group page on Facebook, you need to be, because boy, it'd be some hilarious stuff in there. You hear me? Like I laugh at least daily. So I mean, Akil be having to be rolling. So y'all definitely need to get on there.
That's great to hear. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Enjoy your afternoon. This is the Bacchanal Podcast. Peace.
Peace.